Power Workout Compilation Mix Volume 1
Warriors.
re-upload. um, I don't know if I posted it the other day. I don't know if you um, whoever put it together intersplices like lines from movies in between the songs and stuff.
That's great.
It's really well done, especially considering it's all 80s stuff. My
Yeah, I saw you posted. I haven't checked it out yet. I need to.
my only gripe is that there's like lines from Mortal Kombat in, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that didn't come out in the 80s.
95.
It's like, not that I not that I dislike it. It's definitely feels like an 80s movie.
Oh, definitely. Big time. So this is going to be fun. We both sound like shit. I feel like death. I'm sure you feel like death too.
I just took some over-the-counter medications, so
Well, there you go.
they haven't kicked in yet. I can still feel like the fuzziness around my eyes.
They haven't kicked it yet. I can still feel.
I can
You
still
just stop right there. I can still feel, period.
the annoying thing. I know you work from home, but uh, I've like working in the hospital. They still require us to wear masks. So not that I have against anything people wanting to wear a mask, but the requirement to wear a mask at this point in time is a little ridiculous.
Hey, but it's good since you're sick. It's almost like other cultures are correct, and you should be nice to others when you're when you're sick and wear a mask. Not saying you should all the time necessarily. It's such a gray area.
Yeah,
I uh
that's. I mean,
I like masking up because I find other human beings gross a lot of times. So I
yeah,
get lazy with it, and I think it is so weird. Like I'm like everybody at this point. I think it's just I make up my own rules. Like I like wearing it to the grocery store, but I'll go to a Braves game where there's 42,000 people and not wear one. So it's like,
and you have to shuffle in beside each other through the gate.
yeah, exactly. Like, oh yeah, we're distance, Joe.
Yeah, but you know, if you go back and listen to our nutrition and fitness episode when you're sick, I am still getting my fruit in. So I got some orange here.
Yeah, I just had a banana earlier. There you go.
It's important. I'm going to chew while I talk through this microphone.
That's always good. That makes for good listening. People enjoy that.
Maybe I'll just clip this part out of it. We won't-
No, no, I won't. I just leave everything as is. I was complaining about being sick, you chewing oranges. It's all good quality listening.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Um, but either way, what we're here today,
We are gathered here today.
yeah, dearly beloved. Uh,
I guess speaking of 80s, let's get some Prince going.
I could, Purple Rain was really good. That random Prince fact: he sold more records in the '80s than Michael Jackson. Right?
I'm much more of a Prince fan too, so I enjoy that fact.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of crazy. Speaking of all of those things, when you look back on history, especially the pop culture kind of history, without a doubt the impact that both of those artists have. But a lot of people forget that. They just don't realize that Prince was actually the bigger artist, but where he stopped, like Michael Jackson just kept going. So Michael Jackson put out more albums in the '90s than Prince did in the '90s, and so therefore people they look back on it think that Michael Jackson did all of this bigger work in the '80s, but really the '80s was like Prince was the guy.
Man,
Um, Yay, trivial. Things that aren't trivial. Moving into the end of the year. Um, One of the days this episode comes out, it's going to be a couple of days before Christmas. So
yay, Christmas.
I forget who the stand-up comedian was. I want to say it was Louis C.K., but he talked about that the Christians won. Like, look at the calendar. Say we do all operate on the Gregorian calendar, which is from Pope Gregory. Um, but the funny thing, we talked the last time we talked about a holiday, it was Thanksgiving in America. There's something similar to it everywhere else. But Christmas is worldwide. It's everywhere. Christmas is on the same day everywhere, no matter where you're at in the world. Um, And going into a holiday, I know that a lot of people are worried about what they're going to eat while they're there. How am I going to get my workouts in during this time? Similar to Thanksgiving, it's about the people that you're with. It's not about your diet that you're on or your workout program.
Yeah, and it's you're not going to ruin progress in one day. You know, like it's about the other 364 days or 363 days if we talk Thanksgiving and Christmas. Or even let's say you take 2 weeks out of the year, you know, like if there's a birthday here and a Christmas there and a New Year's here and a Thanksgiving, like you're not going to derail the progress that you put in 90% of the time if you're, kind of off program 2% of the time. I think people lose sight of that.
Right. So, things I have not mentioned to Matt before this that I think we should talk about on the Christmas episode of Franchise Nutrition and Fitness are the best Christmas movies.
Best Christmas movies. All right.
So, I specifically narrowed it down even further to action Christmas movies. So, therefore,
I mean, there's one and only if we're talking action Christmas movies.
what are you talking, Matt?
Die Hard. Die Hard is the
Die
be
Hard.
all end all of action Christmas movies.
Okay. So, of course, I have a list here. This list is courtesy of Vulture.com. They list the 13 best action Christmas movies. I'll link it in the show notes. Die Hard is number one.
As it should be. Sitting at its rightful spot at the top of the throne.
There are 13 movies on here, and some of these movies I've never heard of, but I find them very fun, some of these movies. So, starting in at number 13, of course, a movie just came out. It's Violent Night, the new movie.
It's fantastic. I just saw it this
That's
weekend.
solid. You just wanted to go see it.
It had no right being that good.
That's excellent. The reason
it,
why, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
it hit all the spots that it should hit. It very much was in your face, like even citing the homages that were in there of like it knew what it needed to be, but that it's heartfelt in parts, it's like gory, violent in parts, it's extremely funny in parts. It's everything you want out of
Right. I I saw the trailers and the trailers look great. They look phenomenal.
it. It's
Um,
the trailers didn't do it justice. Like I was excited about the trailers. It's like, yeah, this movie hit in every way it should have. Like
so, uh, the Christmas movie is actually kind of a tradition that my family and I have, like my immediate family, that we um used to do like every year, like back when I lived in Georgia and before we had children. Um, it was a thing we'd all get together and go to some movie close to Christmas, somewhere in the holiday season. So you would like Star Wars when that came out.
yeah, when the Force Awakens came out, I saw it on Christmas Day that year, and I was very excited.
Um, there was Les Mis a long time ago when that came out. That saw that. Um, I want to say there's a Superman movie in there somewhere. I could be wrong. But one superhero movie I do know that we watched on a VHS at home was Batman Returns.
I went and saw it on 35 millimeter film 2 weeks ago, and it was amazing. I love that movie.
Like, the trend of like comic books and Christmas, and they have to go hand in hand. Um, like if you go back and you read comic books, remember comic books are a serial thing. They come out every month. And so inevitably during December, there's going to be a comic book that has something Christmas related that gets released sometime close to the week of Christmas.
The Punisher Christmas ones I always thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah, I bet they're very close to the movie you just went to go see, Violent Night.
Yep.
Very, the gifts that the Punisher would leave people are probably explosives. Um,
And I love Batman Returns because like there's nothing about it that should work. Like that movie's just so pun intended batshit insane. Like hypersexual zombie Catwoman, like with no explanation. Like it's
um, the interesting thing for me with um, Batman and Batman Returns is close like Michael Keaton more so because they altered the bat suit between the two movies. That way he could like turn his head more easily. Um, which is something you don't think about until you realize that in Batman Returns he's like able to turn a little bit more, but in Batman he's like total robot.
Yes, whole body. Yeah.
Move my head the entire way to make this work.
Zero mobility.
um, there's a special effects artist that I follow that he specializes in just making bat suits. Um, and one of the one of the questions that was asked was like in the comments of one of his posts with the bat suit was, uh, when you made your Batman Returns outfit, did you make the nipples more rigid on that one versus the other one? Because it'd be colder in December in Gotham than it would be in other times of the year. So,
Just what you need the crossover of the Schumacher Batman with the Tim Burton Batman. Just there you go. Super hard nipples on the bat suit.
it doesn't make any sense. Well, sure, why not? I mean, it's all rubber anyway, so um, but when I go to the movies, when we go out to watch movies, do you ever get any concessions while you're at the movie theater, Matt?
I try to abstain. Usually, people I go with want stuff. Well, I take that back. I do because I if I go to places that have a bar, I always get a beer. That's always fun. To pay 10 prices too much for a beer, but yeah, typical go to is popcorn. Like if I have to get something, it's just popcorn. It's the stereotypical movie food.
Yeah, I usually get popcorn or Twizzlers and like a Dr. Pepper or like a cherry Coke Zero if that's available. But
I do love a good cherry Coke Zero.
yeah, it pairs well with rum or vodka. Just so you know, in case you don't remember. Uh,
Lime vodka pairs really well with the cherry Coke Zero. You get that cherry limeade almost flavor. Yeah, there
Interesting.
you go. Give that a shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Harkening back to our one of our most listened to episodes is alcohol, nutrition, and fitness. Um, but the we'll review that topic again in a later time. I was laughing about it. What we should do, we should ask people what their favorite cocktails are, and we could just drink those and talk about our topic, like while we're.
I am all for that. Like for first a few loses, we just because hopefully that's like when we could get the most engagement ever, like 100 different people like give us cocktail ideas.
It would be really fun. Uh, there are holiday beers and things. I have a few in mind, but it is one of the favorite styles of beer that I have is the winter warmer or the Christmas ale, because it helps to warm your insides. But that's just because the alcohol content is high. That's literally what it is. That's what like how it is designed. So that way, it's the flavor masks the increased alcohol, so it just you feel a little bit warm, but you're also very tipsy. So
See, I love eggnog this time of year. That's my go-to. Like, and no other time of year do I love like sugar and fat just in a liquid form. But like all of a sudden, says December 1st hits, I love it. Stick a shot of rum in it, a shot of whiskey, boom, you're good to go. A little cinnamon, a little nutmeg. And I found, I know you're not a fan of like the non-dairy milks, but I found oat nog recently that I love. That's
okay,
lower sugar.
okay. Uh,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. You do you, bud. Um, but you're not going to see me go for any of those.
Don't ever be lactose intolerant around Ryan. Like that's
Hey, I know plenty of people that are lactose intolerant. You can get pretty good ice cream that's lactose free.
Yep.
But at least there's a reason there. You know, it's a
I like the taste, and
small heart.
the oat nog is half the calories, so I can drink twice as much. I'd rather the calories come from the booze. I don't want.
Yeah, you're balancing it out like that. All that makes sense. We were um, talking. My wife and I were talking about brands of eggnog, um, because there's lots of brands out there that, of course, that you can get eggnog, um, and there are big names and generic names, and she actually prefers one of the generic names the most, like out of all the eggnogs. Yeah, it's like,
What is it? What is it about it? Like, what's the difference?
she just says the flavor is better. Like it's a better mix. It's more homogenized. It's not too sweet. Um, I said, she's like, I used to like this other one. It's like the reason why you like that other one is because it's sweet enough to balance out the alcohol that's supposed to go in it. So it's the reason why it's so sweet. It's like,
See, that's the reason I like the ones that aren't as sweet. That's why I like the oat nog, and because yeah, you can taste the booze with it. I like having the hint of boozy taste with my fat and sugar. It's
yeah,
all the stuff we crave.
yeah. I used to mix, and I still do occasionally. I just don't do it as often. But Goldschlager and Sprite taste like Christmas in a cup, like the cinnamon. The
Ooh, I have not had Goldschlager. God, probably the last time I had Goldschlager was with you, probably 15 years ago.
probably. Oh man,
You have nice, colorful vomit with Goldschlager. It's
it's real gold flake. Okay.
God, let's just go. Let's just go ahead and mix Goldschlager and Jaeger together, and that would be the worst night ever.
That would be just um yeah. That's tough. Um but by the way, yeah, we're just kind of rambling around here because it's Christmas. Why are you guys listening to us? You should be with your family and friends. It's Christmas. Like,
No, like people are gonna take a week off and they're gonna go back and listen to this. Be like, shit, it's a Christmas episode.
yeah, these guys got us in the Christmas episode.
uh,
Um, but do you
I'm interested with the movie list. So fire off a couple more, and then I think we go movie alcohol movie alcohol. It's like these are a few of my favorite things.
okay, so the Batman Returns is on there. There
So
are
I've
other
got
movies that I've never seen on here. Invasion USA came out in 1985.
never heard of it, but I will look it up.
Invasion USA imagines an America thrown into chaos by a holiday season influx of commie terrorists who can only be stopped by one man. Canon fixture Chuck Norris, what? Who stars as a
Oh,
retired CIA agent Matt Hunter. The film's amazing centerpiece scene finds Hunter battling gun-toting baddies in a shopping mall filled with Christmas decorations and terrified shoppers. Oh, it's available on Pluto and Tubi, so that's like a free movie available.
I'm scrolling through the exact list you're going through now. I couldn't help myself. Cool. A lot of them I would put on there. I've been on there. Sweet.
Yeah, Reindeer Games, that's also really good. Um, it's a personal bias. Charlize Theron's in there, so
There you
yeah.
go.
Um, The Tower.
Hey,
Again,
she also made our list of best action movie physiques. So there you go.
I'm just saying
Cross promotion.
we are biased. At least we admit our bias, right? So it's like this. I think the best blockbuster bodies. It's a good. It's a fun episode. The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Movie's amazing. I was just talking about that to somebody the other day. I have not seen it in forever. It's Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. Gina Davis is a badass action hero. Like
Yeah, I
worth
was
a
gonna say,
watch.
it's been so long that I've seen it that I had to read the description. But so for those of you out there that haven't seen this, she stars as Samantha Kane, a woman who's put together a pretty nice life for herself and her daughter 8 years after mysteriously turning up in New Jersey with no memories of her past life. It all starts to come back to her, however, after a Christmas season car accident leaves her with a concussion. Samuel L. Jackson co stars as a private detective drawn into Samantha's dangerous world, and this underrated in its time film represents something of a Christmas action movie convergence. Harlan, the guy who directed the movie, also directed Die Hard 2, and it was scripted by Shane Black. Oh, what else did Shane Black do? Something. Hmm,
Shane Black's had a lot of stuff. Well, he did the newest Predator, the second newest Predator, because he
right.
was he was in the original Predator. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say he was in the original Predator. That was
but then he wrote and directed. I know he directed. I think he wrote, yeah, or co-wrote the second to newest one, The Predator, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Most people hated it. I thought it was fantastic for what it should be.
yeah. I want to say that he actually had something to do with the original Predator, not just as an actor. Like he was he helped them edit some of the lines or something in the movie, but uh, that's always good. Hey, you're bleeding. I ain't got time. um Here, Die Hard 2, because if you already had a Christmas movie thinking that was just Die Hard, you might as well follow it up with the sequel. Um, and I forget when that came out, 1990. Yeah, that was back when they didn't have like trilogies. They just did parts one and two of movies. Uh,
Like I loved that movie. Has one of my favorite like death scenes in it, where the guy gets sucked into the plane engine.
right. I was gonna say, the plane.
Stands out. I'll never forget seeing that for the first time as a kid. Like it stands out in my head to this day. I was like, that's awesome.
So, and you're younger than me. So I was 5 when that movie came out, so I have no idea how old you were when it came
I don't think I saw it until I was like probably like 9 or 10. But yeah, I would have been 4 when that movie came out. Like so I was clearly much more mature, you know.
out. Oh, and people wonder what's wrong with us. I don't know.
Exactly.
Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. Uh,
So that's another Shane Black one, isn't it?
uh-huh. Yeah. And like I thought it was okay. I didn't love Kiss, Kiss, Bang, Bang. Um, but I would have. It is a Christmas movie, but I would have put it further down on the list. The Ice Harvest, which I've never seen.
Don't think I have either.
Yeah. So okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. It's available on Amazon Prime. Good to know. And of course, Home Alone is on here.
I have such a like love hate relationship with that movie. I had not seen it since I was a kid. And I watched it, was it last, I think, yeah, last year for the first time. God, probably 20 years. And the opening scene where everybody's in the house, like, and it's all the kids running around and shit, like closest to like a panic attack while watching a movie. Like, oh my God. Like,
So many children. It's like a
yeah,
wrestling show. Ah,
it's like, yeah, that's like the scariest part of that movie.
man, that is a wrestling show. Like that way that movie like depicts that's how the show starts. Like people just run around through the aisles waiting for people to get their
Like
turn.
I've always just been annoyed by that movie too. That like it's a PG rated like family comedy that like is that incredibly violent. Like
And just pointed that out. He also finds time to get to church. Same.
it's okay to try to murder these people as long as you pray for forgiveness. I think that's the lesson of that movie, right? Like
No, that's not the that's not the
that
part.
was that was my take home from Home Alone.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many things that should have gone terribly wrong. Like they all so to be fair, a lot of people, a lot of moving parts, right? Let's say you get all the way to the airport. Why did like you got on the plane? Like, you didn't think somewhere in there, like, hey, where did our kid go?
Yeah, they were purposely trying to leave him. Here's a little shit. Like that's my theory. Is they knew the robbers were. They actually hired the robbers. They were going to take Kevin out. Like, yeah, it's a
that would
conspiracy.
that would be a good conspiracy. I mean, it did come out in 1990, so I know that the rules for flying were different back then. So maybe they just thought, oh, we don't need to check anybody in. Everybody's right here, and let's just get on the plane.
Just run along. Like,
Batman Returns, we've already mentioned. The Silent Partner. I've never watched this movie either.
I haven't either.
It did come out in 1978. Um, it's a bank robbery where someone posing as a mall Santa decides to cut himself in on the action with disastrous consequences once the bad guy figures out he's been robbed. Dun dun dun.
All right, I'm adding that one to the list.
Plummer is so menacing in the role. He makes the mini killer Santa movies that followed look almost tame by comparison. You should put that on your list. You can follow that up, see how that compares to Violent Night.
Yeah, I definitely want to check that one out. Sweet.
Oh man, what if there's like something in Violent Night that harkens back to this movie? It'll be like seeing like a new thing like all over again through the. Ooh, whoa! It's Inception, man. Lethal Weapon. That was the other Shane Black thing that I think of when I think of Shane Black. I think of Lethal Weapon. I think of Predator.
I
Weapon.
always forget that he wrote the screenplay for that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Getting too old for this. uh, and then of course, Die Hard is number one on this list. Um, so I mention it all the time. Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie because apparently all you need to be a Christmas movie is to have something that occurs in or around the holiday.
Yeah, that's like what else would the criteria be? Like, does it have to like be in your face Christmas, like where there's like a Christmas lesson or something? Like, I've never understood people that want to argue against that with that movie. Like,
Yeah, I you know Alan Rickman is in here, so you could just like tie him into every other Christmas movie that he's in. Just be like, yeah, see, it's the Christmas movie actor. He's in here. Um, but I know that your favorite Christmas themed movie is none of the movies on this.
yeah, it surprises everybody what my favorite Christmas movie is. Anybody that's talked to me for more than 2 seconds, like, really? Yeah, it's a Wonderful Life. I love that movie. Always, it's a must every year.
Yeah, I I love that. But my favorite Christmas movie is A Christmas Story.
Oh,
Just
you can't go wrong with that, and like you have to see it if yeah, TBS is playing on it in your home, like you get to see it for 24 hours starting on Christmas Eve.
yeah, let's see. I know It's a Wonderful Life came out a long time ago, 1946. But the um Frank Capra. Have
I
you
love it. I love everything about the story of that movie too, like how it was a flop when it first came out. It was filmed in the summer, and like the synthetic snow, which put them over budget at the time. All kinds of crazy stuff.
yeah. Um but so if you don't know this, you've got out there listening and you don't know this about Frank Capra, he is one of like the quintessential directors that helped film World War II and bring those it's like scenes of World War II back to America to help propel America with making sure that hey, let's remember the war effort that's overseas. Let's keep that together. Um, and so this movie came out in 1946. He had like a bunch of other movies um, that came out around that. And one of let's see, trying to scroll here really fast. It's not that one. One of the favorite movies that I've seen that he put out um, is not that one. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Fantastic one. Another one with Jimmy Stewart.
So yeah, so great movie, excellent director. Look him up if you don't. Um, and there's a series on Netflix called Five Came Back, which is just about the five directors that came out of World War II that basically won every best director from like 1930 something to 1940 something. Like these five won all of these best direction or best pictures and like all these like it's these guys. These are the best movies that came out of that time. Um, so Christmas. It's about time with your family and friends. Things that I enjoy doing with my family and friends are having fun drinks. So go out, get your favorite Christmas bread beverage, grab one of these movies that we just routed off. That's a Christmas movie. And be sure to
That's
maximize the time with your family and friends that you're
exactly including furry family members that don't want to leave you alone.
spending. All right. Like we say every week, maximize every bite,
Maximize every rep.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.